So I think Michael Rappaport, we're going to have to probably cancel because we literally have 5 more minutes left on the show. I can't do an extensive... I mean, Michael Rappaport, I got a lot. This is the show he should have done. He'll be at the Tampa Improv. The old Bubba would have tried to bury Michael. The new Bubba is not going to. He ran long. That's just the way it goes. The old Bubba would have said, he's a piece of crap and what have you. And meanwhile, he's not. And he's kind of part of the Howard world that we somewhat fringe on a little bit. And so I'm not going to bury the guy. He'll be at the Tampa Improv this weekend, Friday and Saturday. 2 shows on Friday the 21st, which is today, 7:30 and 10. That's at the Tampa Improv, 1600 East 8th and Ybor. And then tomorrow, Saturday, he's doing 2 shows, 7:30 and 10. More information, tampaimprov.com, and one-stop shopping with all of Michael's information at michaelrappaportcomedy.com. Michael Rappaport has an ongoing feud with Brent Hatley, who obviously started his radio career with us. That would have been kind of funny to get into. He is a longtime podcaster and acted in several very successful movies. True Romance, just off the top of my head. True Romance, Copland, Higher Learning, Men of Honor. So he's done a lot. He's somewhat of a contributor on Howard's show.
He's in the fantasy league.
He's a huge sports guy.
Yep.
He knows a lot about sports, and he's actually played in 5, 6, 7 NBA Celebrity All-Star games. And he was the MVP in the 2010 MVP Celebrity All-Star game. And I think he's a huge proponent of the Knicks. I think he goes to a lot of the Knicks games.
Yeah, he's a big New York guy.
Yeah, he's like the typical New Yorker. So I hope he had a good time on Mike Calta's show. And all I ask you to do, Mike, is to really do a little bit of due diligence with regards to that guy and him and I's relationship and the long, long history him and I have had. You and I, Michael, would have a great interview because Brent Hatley worked for me and the guy that you just interviewed worked for me.
Hey, Bubba, he's in the green room.
Well, how long has he been here?
I just found out he's in the green room.
Well, go get him.
You want to go grab him?
Go grab him and put him on mic 4.
All right.
Tell him that we're in the middle of wrapping this up. And have him come on in. He looks like Tommy from Power.
What up? Like 4 o'clock right here. Headphones.
Is he sitting down?
Yes, sir.
I'm
He's
here,
on.
Bubba.
Michael, this is the one interview, buddy, that you needed to do.
Listen.
What?
You're iconic.
Well, not iconic enough for you to be 20 minutes late.
Well, that was not my fault. I have to say that was not my fault. But I'm here right now. I'm excited to be here right now. This studio is very impressive. Bubba the Love Sponge. Happy to be here.
Well, you're a very much a legend. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier. I was promoting your stuff.
I heard that.
And the old Bubba would have been a dick and said, screw Michael Rappaport.
Because I was late.
I know, but see, hold on. Let's not get into it, but there's a reason why you were late.
What is it?
Well, you don't, because the host that you were on kept you late to screw me.
Oh.
Don't you kind of understand my...
I didn't know that.
Now I really have to be the bigger person because there's a lot of ulterior motive as to why the guy kept you late.
Was that Tampa radio beef?
Oh, are you familiar with Tampa radio?
I don't know about the Tampa radio beef. I know that I'm hyped to be down here performing at the Tampa Improv.
2 shows today, 2 tomorrow.
Can't wait. But
Mike,
bring me up to speed on this Tampa radio beef.
Mike, I can't. Like,
it's too much.
Oh, it's just... It's on. You don't know, buddy?
No.
No, for real.
I wish I knew.
Now, Brent Hatley got to start here.
Yes.
Okay.
You love Brent Hatley.
I loved some of the Brent and Bubba stuff. That stuff is buried away. I mean, what are the top 3 Brent and Bubba moments? Didn't you have them like in a river shooting pellets at him once in the ocean?
Well, one of the top 3 moments is that him and I were on trial facing 5 years in prison for the killing of a wild boar. That was one of the top moments. But Brent started with me And then, we obviously had a long tenure, and he left in 2013. And now you and Brent are like at each other's throat. Bad.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing started with Brent. I mean, I want to stay Bubba the Love Sponge centric, but no one wanted to hear the swinging stories, and that now they've backfired on him, and now they're no. So I won that. You know, like when you're in these beefs, it's all about winning.
I got something that you might need.
The sound drop?
Give it to me.
Yeah, give it to. Have Caveman find it for me.
Give it to me, Bubba.
But when Brent was with his, and Brent and I are still friendly.
Okay.
But Brent tried this swinging with his first wife, Amanda, and it didn't work out too well at all. And so in 2011, I think, it didn't go so swell. And so Brent said this, and you haven't had this, Michael, because if you had this,
it would have been over.
It would have been a real show. Yeah, here, you ready?
Because he tries to bury his past.
All right, hold on. I'm going to play it for you. Stand by. Now, Brent, let me ask you a question. You now have a new girlfriend, right?
That's correct.
Right. Now, which, by the way, Michael, is his current wife.
Okay.
Okay. So he gets divorced from Amanda, and he's now with Krista.
Got it.
Krista.
I don't know the wife's name. I could care less.
His new wife is very attractive.
Okay.
Here we go. Have you settled down your swinging ways?
Never doing that again.
So no. So I mean, you seriously?
No, honestly, I've learned my lesson.
So I mean, like,
Manson was right. I'll apologize at this point.
I tried to tell you.
You did, and you were right.
So you're not doing that stuff.
Never again.
Have you asked her about it?
Oh, we've had the discussion.
I mean, was she into that?
Wow. No.
I don't think Brent is even interested. Like, looking at his face right now, he's completely serious.
Well, I don't want you mad at me for asking.
No, this is legitimate. No, yeah. I'm not mad at you at all.
Well, Michael, would you not have liked to have had that circa 2011?
Man. Why didn't you forward me that?
Because I'm not into starting no problem.
Oh, yes, you are, Bubba. you ain't into not starting problems. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, but starting problems have gotten me into the world that I live in now.
I got you. I know. I'm familiar. I got you.
So where does it stand now? Like, have you and Brent squashed this, or is it still ongoing?
I have no beef with Brent. Listen,
I will tell you this: if I heard Brent wanted to fight you, and I don't think I'd fight you. Like, you're 6'2", like you're not a pussy.
I would. Can I curse on here? No.
No.
I would. Listen. Listen, I call into the show. I said enough with the swinging. It's vile. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. And then he got into a whole personal thing, aspersions and all this stuff. But the reality of it now is that the swinging has backfired on him once again, and there's rumors that he's copied Howard Stern's finger tattoo. You know, Howard, he talks about it, and now Brent went, but apparently it's all cockeyed and cross, and it's like it's uneven, and it's like a bubble. That's just what I've heard.
Now, but hold on now. So do you think that Brent...
He's done with swinging again.
But Brent brought this up as they were going to L.A. and kind of like a cutesy kind of deal, and then it kind of maybe got away from him a little bit?
Of course it got away from him. His wife got pounded out by a guy named the jackhammer. He gave her the jackhammer technique. And I don't know why. Listen, being a radio producer is a respectable thing. He thinks that he should be in front of the camera. Not everybody is built for this, Bubba.
Well, I mean, I think Brent has aspirations of being a host. Maybe
it's not happening, though.
When Howard, moves on. Of which, what's your opinion on that? And I want you to understand, Michael, that me and Howard are friends. I wouldn't say we're close friends, but we communicate. He comes on the show occasionally. I'm forever grateful for everything that Howard ever helped me with. And so you'll never... In fact, I had, Opie from Opie and Anthony on the show about 4 or 5 months ago. And I'm like, hey, why can't we all just be friends? I had Stuttering John on, and he was trying to talk smack about Howard. I'm like, stop it. We're not going there. We're not.
I love Howard.
He
started all this.
So I want you to understand that you'll hear nothing but the utmost respect I have for Howard. That being said... What do you think Howard's decision is going to be? And I'm not trying to say this in a form of disrespect. Strictly opinion on, because I know that his deal ends at the end of this year.
He's not going anywhere yet.
I think that here's what I think, Michael. I think he'll come back in even yet a different capacity, but still be there in maybe even more of a rolled back deal? What do you think?
I don't know why he starts his show so early. If I was Howard Stern, I would start the show like whenever he wanted it, like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Like, stop waking up so early. I think that would make his life better and cut it down to 3 hours a day.
But I think that Howard is a creature of habit.
Yes.
And when you do mornings as long as he does.
Yeah, but man, it's enough with the 6 a.m., the 5:30. I couldn't do that.
Trust me, I've been doing it for 30 years.
What time do you wake up?
3:30.
Every day?
Well, not Saturdays and Sundays, but every Monday through Friday, 3:30.
That's
it's
brutal.
It's very similar to the schedule Howard has.
3:30 in the morning. So what time do you go to bed?
8. So you have no life.
Man,
and Howard always complains of that as well. You have no social life if you're going to be doing a morning deal. And I think that I think the answer to it, Michael, is right in the fact that you start at noon, do a noon to 3 deal. But I think
whatever.
I think
Noon
that
to
would
3,
flip Howard out. I think at the end of the day, he'd be miserable.
8 to 11. I mean, he just cut it. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna. I think he still loves it. I think he's an it's his art, it's his outlet. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think you're right. I think the only way he would go somewhere, Michael, is if Hulu or Apple Plus or Netflix or all the different avenues now that deliver content would give him a Letterman type deal where he could do interviews only, because you can see that Howard's one of the best interviews ever.
Yes,
gotten some of the there's not really an A-lister that he hasn't got in the last 5 years.
Yes,
and he's kind of moved his show a little bit towards less Sibian and more A-listers, and that's what he has needed to do. That's what's made him more popular and more mainstream. Can you see him doing like a one-on-one kind of deal, interview like Letterman type deal? I see him doing that. And whoever wants to distribute it and pay him the most gets it. Gets that exclusivity.
I could definitely see him doing that, but I don't think he's leaving Sirius Radio yet. That's just my inclination. Not that I have any inside scoop.
Well, but you are a radio guy.
Yeah,
I mean, you not only are you a radio guy, but your mom was a radio personality. I mean, you know radio better than most.
Yes, but I just don't see him leaving. I think he's going to stick around. I think he still loves it.
I think he still loves it. I think that some the lifestyle you have to live as far as going to bed so early, and he didn't need the money.
No, he don't need the money. He's got a lot of money.
He's loaded, is he not? Straight loaded.
Loaded.
So when's the last time you called in and screwed with Brent? We used to have a whole Brent Hatley concert series. Did you know that?
What was that?
Yours was a while ago.
My name is Wiki Brent Hatley.
He's been trying for years, man. He just can't. He don't have it. It's like,
I think Brent has it in the right. Hold on, Michael. I think Brent has it in the right role.
He's a flunky.
No,
he's a flunky.
No, no.
He could only be an underlink for other people. He could never have his own show.
He was one of one of the best producers and one of the best co-hosts I ever had in my world.
But I'm saying as far as being on the show. Having his own show.
I don't think Brent's a host.
Nope.
I do not think he's a host. But he's a hell of a
And he's not a swinger. He's not a host and he's not a swinger. So there's two things in his life that he's tried at, and he's failed publicly, miserably twice.
Hold on here.
This is pathetic. This is not good.
Those weren't done by Brent. We were making fun of Brent. Those are songs that are making fun of Brent.
Yeah, but this is what this is not. This is not when you're growing up. You go, I want to have people making songs mocking me. That's not a goal. The goal is to have a show, and you're never getting the show, and you're never going to be that dude. You're never going to be the LeBron James of the swinging club.
I don't think Brent. I think the swinging deal, and I know Brent really well. He was in my wedding. Brent was one of the best men at my wedding.
Did he try to swing with anybody at the wedding?
Well, he did go across the street and do cocaine with Artie Lang.
Wow.
We may have that drop, too.
Oh, please
He was watching the Saints game.
Yeah, he was watching the Saints game. I got married in January of 2007, and he went across the street with Artie, and they did cocaine and watched the Saints game, which Michael, I can't really blame him. I mean, that's kind of a rock star cool thing to do, isn't it?
I've never
but your
touched
wedding
the
was
booger
awesome.
sugar.
Yeah, my wedding, I did have Howard Stern and Hulk Hogan at my wedding. Like, why would you want to leave that?
Yeah, that's pretty
Tell me
good.
the last person that had Howard Stern and Hulk Hogan at their wedding deal. I might be the only person in the world.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's big when Howard flies him and his whole staff down here just for your wedding.
Yeah, what
that's
happened?
why they were all down here.
Michael, can you help me get back on Sirius? Don't you think they could use us?
Yeah, why are you not on Sirius?
Because Scott Greenstein hates my guts. Absolutely hates my guts.
But people love Bubba the Love Sponge.
And we would, move that we can make a difference.
I agree. I don't have any juice over there. I'm just a wacky caller.
You're Michael Mother effing Rappaport.
Yeah, that's true.
True romance.
Podcast.
That's
true romance.
That's true. Yeah,
bitch.
well, podcasts are like, booty holes. Everybody's got one.
I
But
mean-
the I Am Rappaport stereo podcast is obviously,
Beautiful girls.
Yes.
True romance.
Yes.
Copland.
yes,
Higher learning.
yes. Tampa Bay Improv tonight and tomorrow, 4 shows.
Where
2 of
did
them are already sold out.
Where did you make the most money? Out of the ones I mentioned, Higher Learning, Copland, True Romance, Beautiful Girls, or Men of Honor, where did you get the biggest money? I'm thinking maybe Copland.
It might have been Copland.
Sly pay good?
Well, he didn't pay. It was Harvey Weinstein, Miramax. The
You're
Miramax
kidding
film.
me.
Yup, Miramax.
What do you think about the Weinstein stuff?
They're still deliberating. I'm surprised.
Can I give you my opinion of that?
What is it?
I've not heard every bit of testimony that I've heard. Now, I think he's a scumbag, and I
Yeah.
think he did that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that sort of thing's illegal, but it's certainly scumbaggery.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of testimony I've heard, and this is not the popular opinion, but every bit of testimony I've heard was like, okay, so he did me dirty, but then, 3 months we dated, and I told him he was my boyfriend, and I love him, but then he did me dirty again. Well, if you do some girl dirty, and then you guys have a relationship after the dirtiness, isn't that kind of like consensual, and you're just not getting your way?
I haven't read any of the testimony, but I will say this: in Hollywood, historically, it's not always the case. Historically, where there's smoke, there's fire. Whether it's Bill Cosby, Whitney Houston being on crack. Because remember when it was like Whitney? He's like, "Come on, what are you talking about? Whitney Houston on crack? Like she's like America's sweetheart."
One of the most funniest things I ever heard was when Cat Williams said, "Whitney Houston done smoked her kneecaps off."
Exactly.
Are you a Cat Williams fan?
Oh, he's great.
I love that guy.
He's very, very, very funny.
So obviously,
I'm saying where there's historically in Hollywood, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's been smoke on this fat animal for years.
did you have to deal with him in Copland at all?
Not any more than I dealt with any other producer. Thanks for doing the movie. Let me know if you need anything. All right, cool. That was my dealings. Like he was just the boss. Like I didn't have anything
to deal with him.
I did a few Miramax movies with him, and I didn't have any deep. Like he was just my boss. He'd
I think
show up.
Greenstein worked for Miramax. Did he not?
I don't know. I don't
think
know
he
much
did.
about him.
Maybe go put in some words for me, Michael. You could be my co-host.
Man, I wish I had juice for you. I mean, why don't you talk to Howard about getting you back over at Sirius?
I did, and he's like, "Don't get me involved in that deal." And listen, Howard's been very forthright and honest. When I get my original deal with him in 2006, and we were there until 12.
Yes.
He was very, 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 very clear when I was in Buchwald's office. It's like, listen, I'm going to tell them to hire you, but don't ever get me involved in your money or your deal or anything. I'm not. And I'm like, I get it. Thank you. And,
right.
he did what he did for me, and then I blew it. I blew it.
What was the blowing point?
Well, they offered me an 80% reduction. I was making $1 million, and they said $200,000, take it or leave it. And I told them to shove it up there, wherever.
Well, I don't think you blew that. You gotta make, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's a lot of reduction.
Well, we didn't stop there.
We made a few songs about Greenstein's dad.
Oh, I see.
They were pretty bad.
Yeah, they're like, we had sex with your grandpa.
Got you. I've never even met Scott Greenstein. I've never even met him.
He's a great man. I love him, and I'd do anything for him to accept my apology.
Did you try to apologize?
I have.
A
lot.
And he won't accept it?
I even sent a personal handwritten Federal Express note to him.
And did you get a response?
Yeah.
What was it?
You ready?
Your letter had been delivered.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Hogan fart.
That's what I got right here.
But can you clarify something as far as Brent? Did you have him in the water shooting pellets at him?
Yeah.
What? Now explain that to me, because that's just like, was he just like?
Well, we have a pond out back with goats and stuff of these studios. As you know, we're one of the very few shows that have our own standalone, facility. And we have a pond out back, and Brent, we were doing some kind of, games or something, and he jumped, we had him in the pond, and we were shooting him with paintballs. We do that for a lot of people. I mean, that's not uncommon here.
Most of the time, they're frozen paintballs.
I mean, you can see behind you have a stripper pole.
Right.
And we have a stripper pole. And
you ever get him up on that stripper pole?
No. And we got a shower right there that we put, people can go in to take showers and things like that. Brent was a co-host and a, executive producer. He wasn't a stunt boy or anything like that.
Well, it sounds like the pond thing seems like stunt boyish.
Don't give him Jack Daniels, though.
Yeah. Oh, don't give him Jack Daniels.
Why? What happens when you put him on that Jack? When he's on that, is that
You don't
that's
know
a
about,
blow up?
You don't know about the Jack?
I don't know much about this dude. Like, I don't know much. I don't really. Honestly, it's just only thing I care about was when I listen to the radio in the morning, I don't want to hear that kind of talk from you or your wife. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about you getting
Now, do you think that the swinging talk has backfired on Brent to the point where Howard's disgusted with it?
I don't think Howard's disgusted with it. I think Howard, and I think it's backfired on him again. So he's 0 for 2.
Meaning,
I think he's decided to tap out again.
You think too many people called him out?
I think that it's taking a toll on him personally and his relationship. I think his wife enjoys it, but I don't think he enjoys hearing about his wife getting jammed up.
I think you might be right, Michael, but I think that
some guys are into that.
Had it gone better.
It doesn't go better if your wife's getting jammed up.
Well, I know. You're talking to a guy that knows about that.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a guy that's wife got jammed up with his friend, and it pretty much cost me my career.
That's what I'm saying. So, there's not,
Brent should have taken it from me. Don't let your wife get jammed up.
Don't let her get ground and pound. It doesn't work.
Yeah, trust
especially
me.
Publicly.
You're preaching to the choir, buddy.
Yeah, and all this I'm just being honest. Nah, keep that to yourself, homie.
I tried to keep it to myself, but somebody stole my sex tape and ruined my life.
No, not you. I'm saying him.
Yes,
I know.
You know that's the beef with the guy that you were just on.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's the one that stole the Hogan sex tape and sent it to Gawker.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Listen, I'm just down. I'm listen.
No, but no, hold on. So I'm not holding. Listen, buddy, I'm not holding it against you. I'd love to have you on there. Hell, I'd love to have you on morning long. It's a personal beef between him and I that
Bubba was ready to go home an hour ago.
That you didn't know about, Michael.
I didn't know
Michael,
about.
That's why I'm doing overtime and having you in, because you got kind of caught up in a. For once, Michael, it's not your fault. Usually you get blamed for everything.
Right. I'm just
Usually you're the piece of crap that gets blamed for everything.
I'm
but
the
this is
innocent
not
guy
your fault.
here. I'm just the innocent guy who's down here doing 4 beautiful, gorgeous shows at the Tampa
Two
Improv.
of which are sold out.
2 of them, which you're right.
So, I mean, life's good for you, buddy.
I can't complain.
Except for the Knicks sucking.
The Knicks are. Why you want to do that to me?
Because if I told you,
if
I told you who my team was,
Who's your team?
Wouldn't even.
Orlando Magic?
No,
Pacers.
it's shut up, Lummy. You.
Oh, well,
Good job, Lummy. Way to
You're
ruin
lucky
it.
I don't
Way
make
to
you
go,
stand
Lummy.
up. You're lucky I don't make you stand up and I shoot you right in the back.
Yeah.
We shoot people in the back here.
With pellets?
Yes. You wanna see it? Watch. Turn around. Turn
All
around, Lummy.
right. See, that's what happens.
Don't shoot me.
Oh, it didn't. Nothing came out.
I
Lummy.
know.
But he still yelled
Still
like a bitch.
Like a pussy.
Yeah, because I didn't
Like an
want to
absolute
get shots.
pussy.
I didn't want to get shots.
You know, can you explain this to me?
Life is good for Michael Rappaport.
Is Florida an open?
Yes.
No.
No.
No, it is not.
You can have a gun, but you have to keep it concealed if you're properly permitted. You can't keep it out like a cowboy in Phoenix.
Got it.
Like in Phoenix, you can roll down there like 6-shooter style.
So you have to keep it concealed, like hidden?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, concealed, hidden.
And are a lot of people licensed carriers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all are.
I am.
I have my
Do
gun.
you
I
ever-
got my gun with me right now.
Is it on your like on your hip, like on your ankle? Like
I have a gun right here. Right here.
The guy behind the glass has about 3 on him right now.
Yeah. On him.
on his person?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We like to have guns. See, New
Now,
York's
when you
really
go into
uptight
a
with guns.
restaurant,
You can keep it with you.
so when you go into the Tampa Improv,
That's
no,
a bar.
you can't. If primarily they serve more liquor than food, then you can't.
Good to
That's
know.
considered
Correct.
a
And
bar.
at a restaurant, you can't sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So but an Applebee's or a Chili's, if you're in the restaurant part, no problem.
Yep, no problem.
Good to know.
No
Okay.
problem.
Got it.
You need to get a
Copy
place.
that.
You need to get a place down here, Michael.
I would like that. I would love to have a residency in Florida.
You're getting
The
that
taxes,
Copland residual mailbox
that
money,
Copland money.
like Sam Simon money.
That Copland money coming in.
Did you know Sam Simon?
That Harvey Weinstein money.
Did you know Sam?
I didn't know Sam.
Well, that was one of Howard's friends.
Yeah, I mean, I know the name and I know the history, but I didn't know him personally.
Sam used to get like
That residual.
$15 or $18 million a year, and he never had to step on the Fox lot because him and Gearing had a blowout, and he said, I'll just take like 6 points forever. And they gave him like 6 points forever. And he got like 15, 18 million a year, just straight free money
Off of
for being the
Simpsons.
man.
Crazy.
For being the man.
That is crazy.
Mike, I wish I could.
Weren't you on The Simpsons last year?
I was on The Simpsons this year.
This year.
Yep, the highest rated episode of the year.
Of course it was. Michael Rappaport was
It
on
was
there.
a great episode, I have to say, and I don't toot my own horn, toot, but it was pretty dope.
How was Tyson?
Mike Tyson?
I've met him a couple times, Mike, and it's just I always feel like he could flip out and be the 86 Mike Tyson that I used to see kill people.
You know, he was cool. I've known Mike a little bit, and he's chill now. He's
No, I know he's super chill.
He's
but
super chill.
Does you feel like at any time he could kill you at any time?
Yeah, I think that's just his persona. I feel like right now he's like a dad. You know, he's like a tennis dad. You know, he chills, he smokes his weed.
Like if somebody like bumped into him, at the airport and was kind of like a New York dick to him, do you think Tyson would just be like, "Hey, buddy, no big deal," or would he like smash his face in?
I think that if he was pushed, he would deal with it, but I don't think he would look for any trouble more than most of us. But if you're in a confrontation, that's not the person want to be in a confrontation with. A professional fighter who with one of the most lethal punches in all of boxing history. I think that would be a mistake.
Michael Rappaport, Tampa Improv. What are the two remaining shows, Mike? There's no sense of promoting the ones that are blowed out.
The second show tonight, which starts at
10:30.
Yes, and then the second show tomorrow night. Both have tickets available.
So both late shows tonight and tomorrow.
Yes.
You can get tickets too.
At the Tampa Improv, and I'm pumped to be performing down here. I've never been to Tampa. My whole into Tampa is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, you need to.
Go to
book-
Yankees,
You need to
spring
book.
training.
You
Yep,
need to
Yan-
book another gigs.
Yep.
Or 10
Yep.
and come in and do our show because we could we could literally have you on the entire show. We have so much to talk
I
about.
would love it.
And so much in common.
I would love it, and I did not know that I possibly was being used as a pawn.
It's all right, buddy.
But also we started a little late, so I don't want to blame anybody. I've been a big fan of yours for a long time, Bubba, and and I wish you nothing but the luck with all of it.
And I don't want Brent, for this to get back to Brent and think that I've ever said a bad word about Brent. I would hire Brent back.
Why would you do that?
Because Brent, for me, Brent's good. Brent's good for me.
Well, then that would be good. But I mean,
Could you and Brent ever make up?
I have no like Brent is like, oh, Rapaport's this. I absolutely like this is all. It's all show for me.
You know, the funny thing is watching you talk, I'm thinking, because I know Brent, I'm thinking you and Brent, I could see you guys hanging out.
Yeah.
Nah, that I would before the beef. I would never want to hang out with Brent, and I don't.
You have more in common with Brent than you think. He's a huge sports guy, very knowledgeable on sports.
Yeah. I don't have no problem with Brent.
Likes to get high.
Yeah, I'm not really. I smoke a little weed.
He does. He smokes a lot.
Yeah,
And I think you guys would get along.
I have no I have no problem. I was right. He was wrong. I said shut down the swinging. He didn't want to do it. Now he's had to shut it down.
He was shutting it down in 2011.
And he didn't learn.
Now, Brent, let me ask you a question. You now have a new girlfriend, right?
That's correct.
Right. Now, have you settled down your swinging ways?
Never doing that again.
You know what I call him?
What?
Button Dick Brent.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about his penis, and
That's my nickname for him. I Button Dick Brent.
Yeah. Well, that's your name for him, Michael. Michael, listen. Next, book up another gig. Couple
I'll be
gigs
back.
down here.
Yep.
And even if you're just down here traveling, watching the Bucks, Bucks going to keep Jameis Winston or not?
Get rid of him.
I mean, Tom Brady's not coming down here. Maybe you get Phillip Rivers. I don't know.
I mean, they're saying Rivers bought a place in the Panhandle, and he likes Bruce Arians. That's what I call him. And it makes a natural fit. But I mean, what's Jameis going to cost him? $30 million?
He's so exciting to watch because you never know throw to throw what the hell you're going to get. It's crazy with him.
How about the Packers? Do they get Beckham? I heard they're talking to Browns. That's my team, by the way. And by the way, my favorite NBA team is the Pacers.
Are they talking about Odell going to Green Bay?
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean,
Or the Cobb kid from Dallas coming back to Green Bay.
well, I mean, Odell with Aaron Rodgers would be sick, but Odell is such a mess. He's so talented, and he's getting up there in age. Like, he doesn't have a Hall of Fame career at this point.
How about,
Not even close.
How about Antonio Brown? Is it done? I mean, is he calling Kaepernick himself out of the business?
I think he's done.
I mean, if you can't work for the Raiders and that rehab facility of an NFL deal, like I think you're done at that point. Unless the
Done.
Browns get him or something.
Done. I think he's done. He's too wacky. He's too wacky.
You think Brady goes to the Vegas?
I don't think Brady's going anywhere.
You think he stays with the Patriots?
Yeah, where's he going? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'd be shocked. That'd be one of the biggest surprises in sports
XFL.
history.
What do you think about the XFL?
I haven't watched it yet. I think it's, I mean, it's like you can't start a football league the week after the Super
You
Bowl.
can, but
No one cares. We're all decompressing.
well, everybody did care, but then everybody doesn't care. Like it's like one day, like I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. Who would win, LSU or the best team at the XFL?
LSU.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think so too.
LSU would win.
I think they've had to abbreviate the playlists in order to get these players to be able to come together and play at the XFL. And I don't think their offense is near as explosive, as kids that have been playing together for 4 years.
No, I don't think. I think they're. It's a way out. It's a means to a way out of football. That's what it is. It's not a means to a way into the NFL. I mean, there might be one or two people that,
There'll be a few.
like Johnny Manziel. You're done.
He pretty much dictated. He wasn't really that good though.
No, but if he'd minded his business, he could have stayed in the NFL.
His wife's hot.
I don't know her.
Are you married, Michael?
Yes,
You never talk about your wife.
because it's my wife.
Oh. I mean, have you guys ever done any Hatley type stuff?
Nah, I don't get down like that.
Yeah, you're like a real hardcore New Yorker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not rocking like that. I mean, imagine you go into a swinging club, and your wife thinks like, I'm gonna get some hot, and then this animal walks in, this button dick bald sloth.
Easy, Michael.
I mean, sponge.
He's really letting it hang out
The
here.
sponge.
Mike, I got to go. We're way late. But
I
listen,
appreciate you guys having me. I'm excited to be performing down here in Tampa.
2 shows available, both early shows for today and tomorrow. And you can go to TampaImprov.com. You can always go to Michael Rappaport. Is it Michael Rappaport Comedy?
MichaelRappaportComedy.com.
And again, we're heard in Charleston. We're heard in Ontario, Peterborough, Ontario. We got a couple affiliates. So if you're ever in those cities, let us know, bud. We'll give you some promo.
Absolutely.